I want to just relate to everybody that last evening, Marvin Skip McClendon, 74, of Bremen, Alabama, was arrested and charged as a fugitive from justice based on an arrest warrant yesterday for the murder of Melissa Tremblay of Salem, New Hampshire, on September 12, 1988. He is in the custody of the Cullman County Sheriff's Office and will be arraigned in an Alabama court tomorrow. Mr. McClendon is a retired Massachusetts Department of Corrections employee. On September 12, 1988, the body of 11-year-old Melissa Tremblay was discovered in the old Boston and Maine Railroad yard in Lawrence. She had been stabbed to death. Post-mortem, her body was run over by a train car, causing her left leg to be amputated. An investigation ensued, and police learned that Melissa Tremblay had accompanied her mother and mother's boyfriend to the LaSalle Social Club in Lawrence the day before. While her mother and mother's boyfriend remained inside the club, Melissa played in the adjacent neighborhoods and was last seen by a railroad employee and pizza delivery driver during the late afternoon hours. That night, Melissa's mother and mother's boyfriend frantically searched and then reported her missing to the Lawrence police around 9 p.m. Over the years, scores of witnesses, suspects, and persons of interest were interviewed by police. Assistant district attorneys and state police detectives assigned to my office, specializing in cold cases, have worked diligently on this case since 2014. Evidence recovered from the victim's body was instrumental in solving this case. The investigation found that the suspect lived in Chelmsford in 1988 and had multiple ties to Lawrence. Specifically, investigators learned that he worked and frequented establishments in the city of Lawrence, including the Seventh-day Adventist Church on Salem Street. Melissa has never been forgotten. My office contacted surviving members of Melissa's family last night and again this morning to inform them of the arrest. I want to thank the Essex Chief Homicide Prosecutor Jessica Strasnick and the Appeals Unit ADA Marina Morardi and the Essex State Police Detective Unit, headed by Captain Stephen McDonald and lead investigator Lieutenant Peter Sherber, and Lawrence police detectives, both current and retired, who never gave up in this case, particularly retired Lawrence Police Detective Thomas Murphy, for this tireless and relentless pursuit of justice for Melissa. They are assisted by the Massachusetts Department of Corrections, the FBI, the Tewksbury Police, the Cullman County Sheriff's Department, and the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation. We continue to review old cases, hoping that new techniques and fresh look will result in a breakthrough. We are mindful of the victims and their family members who continue to want answers. They are not forgotten, and we will pursue those responsible and seek to hold them accountable for however long that it takes. Thank you.
What led you to this suspect? Can you spell his name for me?
I will provide you
that. Yeah. What led you to him?
The evidence. The evidence led us to it.
What was the evidence that led you to him?
The evidence will absolutely be given to you in greater detail once he's arraigned, so we can pursue the, make sure we follow the rules of evidence and the rules of the court, but that evidence will be particularized and spelled out at his arraignment.
How long has he been in Alabama? Was he surprised when you showed up at his doorstep, presumably?
I can't say if he was surprised when he was interviewed in Alabama. I will tell you that he has been a person of interest for a period of time, so I can't speculate as to whether he was surprised or not, but we believe we have the right person.
Did he know the family? Did he know this girl? Was this a random attack?
Can't answer that question right now as to whether we knew them or not. I just gave you the facts as we knew them. I do not know if he knew the family.
You said the suspect was a corrections officer at the time?
He is a former corrections officer, and I'm not really sure if he was at that time, but the Department of Corrections did help us in the investigation.
Was this a question of new technology leading to some evidence, or was just fresh eyes?
This case has been pursued, I would suggest to you, in a very diligent fashion since 1988, since we discovered her body, and I think that the Lawrence Police Department, the state police, continue to pursue evidence and leads. And again, I will just tell you that at the arraignment date, Assistant District Attorney Jessica Strasnick will be able to give particularized information as to how we came to feel that we should make the arrest.
Are you able to describe describe at all the family's reaction? What was that like to be able to tell them that you got the man?
So we have tried very hard to make sure we contacted them last night and this morning, and I will tell you that my victim witness chief, Maureen Leal, and Deputy Chief Mickey DeFeo have told me that the family was very relieved and very happy that the police involved in this matter never gave up their pursuit of justice for Melissa.
How gratifying is it for you to come to this point where you can say you cracked this case or you believe you cracked this case? How gratifying is that for you?
I mean, I can't even express how gratified that we are in this office, that we are able to pursue justice for any family in which a loved one has been killed or murdered. And it is extremely gratifying that after all these years, never giving up, we believe we have the right suspect.
DA, what's your message to people that think they can get away with murder in Essex County?
My message is don't think you can do that, because we'll take every effort to find someone who's murdered a loved one. We'll take every effort that we have to pursue justice, and we'll do everything we can within our power, using every resource to bring justice to victims of crime.
But I mean, even after 30 years or many decades, this guy moved to Alabama and is living another life down there, and you come knocking?
I think that just proves what I've just said, frankly, that we're not going to stop. We're not going to not pursue every single lead, not try to develop evidence. I have an incredible amount of people arrayed to my left and right who are totally committed to justice, no matter how long it takes. I don't care if it's 30 years or 60 years, we'll continue to do the best we can to bring some solace and justice to families who've lost loved ones to murder.
Was he living another life down there? Can you give us any details about what he was doing, where he was living, how he was living, anything like that?
He was, again, he was in Bremen, Alabama. I'm not positive as to what his work history was down there. I do believe he was working. And again, that'll come out at the arraignment in terms of what he was doing, both his work history and post-work history. So,
Okay, thank you. Can I just ask, who were the relatives that you contacted? I know the mother is no longer with us, but are there aunts, uncles, cousins?
aunts and a cousin were notified.
Aunts, plural, and a cousin?
Aunts, plural, and a cousin.
Okay, thank you.
Is he involved in any other crimes since this one?
We have no information that this defendant was involved in any of the crimes.
Do you know how long he's been employed at the Department of Corrections?
I'll let Carrie answer that, but I can't give you an answer right now. I'm not positive. He was employed there, and I'm not sure exactly how many years.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.